Julie, ¿entendiste? Va a mostrar alguna información ahorita y luego si necesitas traducción me dices.
Okay.
Okay, and since you guys are our audience, and have you met Mrs. Lee? Mrs. Lee is our assistant principal here at school. Have you guys met?
Okay.
Ya han conocido a la señora Lee, ¿verdad?
Sí.
Sí. Okay.
And so, before we start up, are there any questions that you have? Like I said, we'll walk you through the registration process and some things about the school. Any questions before we start?
¿Algunas preguntas, Julie, antes de empezar sobre las registraciones o sobre algo?
Pues no, porque yo ya pedí el paquete para registrar y ya lo llené, ya la voy a... es solo una pregunta que estaba preguntando si lo puedo regresar con mis niñas mañana, porque ya lo tengo listo, ya no me falta lo del doctor, pero tengo las citas hasta abril, entonces eso lo voy a llevar después.
Okay, déjale. She said that she already filled out the package. She doesn't have questions because she said that she doesn't have the papers from the doctor. She said that she can take the papers tomorrow.
Oh, perfect. Yeah. As far as the timeline, the registration's open, so I'm glad that you've taken care of that piece. But we have time. We understand it takes time to get some of those other things. And so what we'd like to do is to try to get all the papers in before this school year ends. So that way we know that you're all ready for next year. But we'll work with you if you need additional time on some of those things.
O dice que no te preocupes por las otras cosas. Si ya llenaste esa parte, la puedes regresar. Lo único que quieren es tener información antes del fin del año escolar.
Sí, porque yo quería estar para yo tener seguro que la niña sí va a tener espacio, ajá.
Okay, the reason she filled out the papers that fast is because she wants to be sure that her daughter is going to have a space for her.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yep. And could you ask that, does she live in the district or is she coming out on transfer?
No vives en el distrito, ¿verdad, Julie?
No, pero también ya fui al distrito y ya metí la aplicación y ya me mandaron que sí, puedo llevarlo.
She doesn't live in the district, but she said that she already went to get papers from the district, and they say yes, they accepted.
Okay, cool. So we'll have Mrs. Lee confirm that we have all that stuff done, so we can make sure that everything's good.
Okay.
As soon as Escondido gives it to us, I will accept, and then we'll reach out to you so that you know that she's good to go.
Dice que mientras el distrito de allá diga que sí, no hay ningún problema, okay?
Okay.
Mm-hmm. All right. So we'll get into a couple things here. Any other questions before we start it up?
¿Ninguna más preguntas antes de empezar?
I have a question.
Yeah.
Okay, my daughter's dad lives in the area. I didn't fill out the form for the district because we have 50-50 custody.
Mm-hmm.
So he has her most of the days because I work, like right now he has her. The thing is that I did the form for my son, but they're asking me to do a form for my daughter as well.
Mm-hmm. So what is your daughter's primary residence in the district or out of the district? Where is she most of the time?
I have her with her dad.
Okay. And does he live like
because
in
of
Escondido?
my work? Sometimes I do live in Escondido. Yeah.
Okay. So I'd probably go through that process because if the primary residence is outside the district, you probably have to go through the same process that you did with your son.
Okay. So I'll do it. Yeah, because she goes with her dad. For example, I drop her off in school, and she goes from today until Monday morning. I get her, he brings her, and then I take her to school.
Okay. Yeah. If she's there more often with him, that would be more the primary. I can tell you Escondido is more likely to release if a sibling has been released. So you should be able to go through that process, but I'd encourage you.
Yeah, I just received the email right now. Yeah, I received the email about that they could release him if she's released, but I need to do the paper for her.
Okay.
But I mean, that was one of I didn't get it because we have 50-50, so I just put his information. but
Mhm.
I want my mailing address. That way I get all the papers because sometimes he doesn't give me the papers. So that was the issue. I think that's why they think that it's my primary address.
Okay. Have you, Mrs. Leah, are you familiar with this at all, or is this new? You're still on mute.
I was looking up Synergy. I thought you were Idalisa's mom, but whose mom are you?
Yeah, I delete this one.
Oh,
Yes, yes, I
oh,
do.
okay. So I was trying to look up your address. If you know, for each child that comes to our school, if you do not have a home address within San Pascual Union, you have to fill out inter-district transfer every time, regardless of whether there's two households or not. So if your ex or you lived within San Pascual Union boundaries, would be good to go. But it sounds like you both live outside of the boundaries. So you have to fill out the
I
form.
know
for each-
he lives.
He's my
He
neighbor.
lives around
I
the
know
area.
him.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
I know him.
Well, then enroll the young one with his address and then update the mailing address to be yours in Escondido. And then you don't need to worry about the inter-district transfer form.
Okay.
Does that make sense? I mean, we could talk more on the phone if you need.
I'm sorry.
I was asking if that made sense.
Sí, sí
If
se
his-
entendió, Janet.
Es que se congeló.
Oh, she's frozen. Okay.
Oh, I'm frozen.
Okay.
Mrs. Barba, can you help explain that? If dad lives within our boundaries and they register with his address, then Jeanette can always update the mailing address to be hers later. And we don't need an inter-district transfer.
No necesitas un transfer, Janet. Si tu esposo vive aquí, para ella no necesitas
ex.
un transfer. ¿No me escuchas?
El ex, digo. No es mi esposo, es el ex.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, you ex. Okay, I was telling her your husband. Okay, I'm sorry, you ex. Okay, sorry. Okay.
Sí, así lo tengo. Tengo la dirección de él, pero, o sea, se hizo mucho bola y ahorita el distrito me mandó ese email donde se lo puedo mandar a Miss Romero.
Oh, okay, she's gonna send all the information to Mrs. Romero.
Okay.
Perfect. Yep, that'll be great. All
All
right.
right, thank you.
Oh, sure. Any other questions? We can go through a few more things.
Ya no hay preguntas
I'm
ya
good.
para pasarnos a la junta.
Okay.
Okay.
So you should be able to see the screen right at the moment. We already talked about our great teachers. So no matter which class your child is in next year, you are in very good hands.
No importa cuál maestra tengan, están en muy buenas manos. Todas son excelentes maestras.
And then for registration, we talked about this a little bit. But basically, if your child turns 5 by the 1st of September, then they qualify for kindergarten. And if it takes them a little bit longer, if they don't turn 5 until after the 1st, so September 2nd to December 2nd, then they would be eligible for transitional kindergarten, which is a 2-year kindergarten program.
Sí, Janet, sí entendiste, ¿verdad?
Sí.
Julie, ¿me escuchas, Julie?
Sí, aquí estoy. Tradúzcame, Miss Barba.
Oh, ok.
Porque no
Dice que
entiendo todo todavía.
Oh, ok, que si su niño cumple años como los primeros de septiembre, automáticamente entra a kinder, pero si es después, se va a ir a 2 años de kinder, va primero al TK y luego ya después a kinder.
Ok.
¿Ok? Ok.
Sí.
All right. Oh, go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. I was telling her that she can read what you say and it's right there. ¿Sí lo ves, Julie?
Sí, sí lo miro.
Ok, perfecto. Yeah.
And it sounds like we've done some of the registration stuff already. This is the stuff that you probably already know. Mrs. Romero or Mrs. Barba would be great contacts for you as far as if you have any questions about it. Some of the registration stuff gets done online and some of it gets done in person. But if you were struggling with it, we can walk you through any of that registration process. And then this talks about the things that you know as far as the form from the doctor and the shots and birth certificate and those types of things. So when we kind of look at those, we'll also, once you register, we'll sign you up for a kindergarten screening, which will have you come in and we'll do a little assessment.
Ok, Julie, dice que si alguna ayuda, si ocupan alguna ayuda con alguno del papeleo, le podemos ayudar cualquiera de nosotros en aquí en la oficina.
Ok.
Sobre información sobre vacunas y también se les hace el examen que se les hace para entrar al kinder, ¿ok? Pero eso se va a ver luego, ¿ok?
Ok, sí.
Yep. And then in the office, Mrs. Anguiano is a good contact for you. She speaks Spanish and she also helps out with some of our registration.
La señora Anguiano en la oficina, Julie, también puede ayudarles sobre las formas de registración si necesitan. Si
Sí.
no, búscanos a nosotros, Julie.
Ok.
This is just really talking a little bit about our school mission and that we focus on the whole child, meaning we want to build kids that are kids of character, kids that are competent, and then also kids that have good skills so that not only can they be successful students, but they can be successful people as well.
Lo que está hablando el director, Julie, es más o menos lo que estás viendo que estás tú leyendo ahí, ¿ok?
Sí,
Lo que la
sí.
escuela está trabajando, ¿ok?
Ok.
Esa es la misión de la escuela.
Sí.
Ok.
And then we focus on making sure that our kids are healthy. We get our kids outside a lot and active. And so on the left-hand side, you can see part of our kids participating in a fun run activity that we do. And on the right, when they get to middle school, we've got lots of sports teams that they can play on.
Lo que está hablando el director es que dice que la escuela se tratan de mantener unos niños sanos, o se sacan que anden en el aire libre y ya de más grandecitos pues entran a los deportes. Casi son cosas que ustedes ya saben porque tienen niños más grandes.
Sí.
We normally give a little tour when you come in to show you campus. Unfortunately, right now we can't. So here's some pictures of our kindergarten playground. And this is where the students go out for their snacks and for their lunch. And then you see on the top right, that's the lunch tables where they eat their lunch each day.
Dice que regularmente se les da como un paseo, un tour a los papás para que conozcan el área donde sus hijos van a estar, pero debido a la pandemia, pues no se puede hacer esto, pero lo están viendo ahorita y como ustedes son mamás ya que tienen sus hijos, pues ya más o menos conocen la escuela, pero aquí están viendo el área donde los niños comen lonche y donde los niños pueden jugar.
Sí.
Okay?
And then for kindergartners, we do suggest they usually have a snack around 10 o'clock in the morning. So we suggest that they bring a snack to school. And then we also have lunch that some kids will bring and some kids will get from the kitchen. And we do have a free and reduced lunch program. So if for those folks that qualify for free and reduced lunch, we offer that to students that need that.
Está diciendo que los niños cuando vienen al kinder necesitan una meriendita para en la mañana y un lonche para después. Algunos niños pues califican para lonche gratis de la escuela, pero el que no califica pues obviamente trae de su casa la merienda y el lonche. Pero ya es cosa que también ustedes ya saben, ¿ok, Julie?
Sí.
And then we really appreciate our parents and our parent volunteers. And so this year, because of COVID, we couldn't have volunteers at school. We expect when we open up next year, we will. And so we would welcome you to kind of join us and be partners with us here at school. There's lots of opportunities for our parents to get involved if it works in their schedule.
Regularmente siempre hay papás que están de voluntarios. Este año por lo de la pandemia no se pudo tener padres, pero siempre ustedes son bienvenidos. El año que viene, probablemente ya se va a poder y su ayuda, pues, y ser voluntarios ayuda mucho a la escuela.
And then this is all the different groups that we have here at school, or a lot of the different groups that parents are involved in. Our PTO and our Red Barn Arts and our Sage Garden do a lot of our on-campus activities.
Muchos de ustedes ya conocen todas las actividades que tenemos en la escuela. Si ves el granjero rojo, es el arte, donde hacen arte y diferentes actividades, diferentes grupos que ayudan en la escuela.
And then our foundation helps raise money, and our Everyone a Reader program is like provides reading tutoring to kids that need it.
El programa que hay aquí en la escuela, que la fundación ayuda para tener programas de lectura y que ayuden a los niños a tener mejor su lectura.
Okay.
And then the last two groups on here, we have our DLAC committee, which is our District English Learner Advisory Committee. And that is primarily made up of Spanish-speaking parents. And we talk about issues that are most important to them.
El siguiente programa es el programa que tenemos de DLAC, donde es el programa que ayuda a los niños, pues obviamente que vienen sobre todo a los de diferentes idiomas.
Any questions about any of this?
No.
¿Alguna pregunta? No.
Okay.
Okay.
And then a lot of folks have questions about COVID and what are we doing about COVID? And so we had our primary goal was to get kids back on campus this year. And we started with our English learners and our kids with special needs, and then moved into our TK and K students because those were the students that were most negatively affected by homeschooling.
Está hablando lo que se hizo en este año por lo del COVID. Lo que está leyendo ahí lo pueden leer y es lo que él está diciendo el director.
Sí.
And so we've had those students back on campus since early September. And fortunately, we have had no COVID transmissions here at San Pasqual Union. And I think it's primarily because we take a lot of efforts to check for symptoms and screen students. And we look at making sure that they stay distanced and that they stay in stable groups, and we clean a lot. So we've been really fortunate that although we've had to quarantine some groups because asymptomatic kids came to school, we haven't had any students that have caught COVID or that COVID has been transmitted here at the school.
Hemos sido bien afortunados de que la escuela no ha tenido ningún contagio. Hemos tenido grupos en cuarentena debido a que los niños han traído síntomas, pero que vienen de otro lado, no de la escuela. Entonces es debido a que se ha tenido mucho cuidado con la limpieza, con desinfectar y con siempre lavándose las manos y siempre con mucho cuidado.
Okay.
And next year, we're hopeful that we won't have to do as much of this and we can kind of get our school back to normal. So that's what our fingers are crossed for that one.
Cruzando los dedos para que el año que viene no tengamos que hacer tantas cosas como se han hecho este año y esperemos que el año que viene ya sea mejor.
Sí.
Esperemos que sí.
A lot of parents ask us, especially when they have kids coming into kindergarten, what kind of things, how do I know if my child's ready for kindergarten? And what we always tell parents is that kids come in to kindergarten with all different experiences and they come in with all different skills. But these are some of the things that we look for. One of the things that we really look for is parents that are involved. And the fact that you're showing up for this is a really good sign for your kindergartner. But this kind of has a list here of some things that we look for, when kids come. Kids who know how to hold a book. If you tell them a story or read a book, that they can retell that. It's nice when kids know their first and their last name. Kids who can sort objects by color, shape, and size.
Ok, una de las cosas que los papás se dan cuenta que sus hijos están listos para kindergarten es cuando ustedes pueden ver lo que ellos pueden hacer. Cada niño viene a la escuela con diferentes habilidades y con diferente aprendizaje porque ha aprendido de una forma o de otra, pero esa es una lista de algunas de las cosas que ustedes pueden ver en sus hijos. Lo puedes
Ok.
leer.
Ujú.
Digo Julie porque Janet entiende inglés, ¿ok, Janet?
Sí.
Ok.
Está bien, no se preocupe.
Yep. And Mrs. Barber, should I read those others or are those up on the
They-
screen? Okay.
I already explained her that you are talking about the list that is over there, that they can read it, but I'm telling them that that's what you.
Perfect. So the next page has a few more of those same types of things, and I'll kind of let you kind of explain what those are, but they're a little bit more of the same.
Es algo más, dice que la siguiente página es algo más o menos igual, pero lo va a explicar él, pero ustedes van a ver qué es lo que él va a decir eso, ¿ok?
Ok.
Okay.
And then parents will usually say to us, okay, that's a lot of things. How do I get my kid ready to do all those things? And so that's what this next slide is looking at. And this is kind of basically saying, hey, the helpful things to do to kind of get your kid ready is to spend time reading with them, go out and do fun things, point out letters, let them do art type stuff, count with them, use their name, help them be independent, like when they go to the bathroom or with food. They're still little babies, but we want to start promoting some of their independence so that when they come to school, it's a little bit easier for them to be successful.
Dice que usar estos ejemplos que están poniendo aquí es empezar a motivar a los niños para estar preparados para venir, ¿ok? Es una
Ok.
forma que ustedes pueden estar motivándolos y preparándolos para el kinder.
Sí.
And then there's a couple of things that we do over the summertime, or we're hopeful to do over the summertime, that we weren't able to do this past year. And one of them is our summer library program. And that's usually about 4 times over the summer, where parents are invited to bring their kids in, and there's a story time and they can check out books and that kind of thing. And so if you're interested in that, we're likely to be able to offer that as long as we're allowed to with the health conditions this summer.
Una de las actividades del verano son la biblioteca, como ustedes ya saben, donde vienen los niños a escuchar historias y a sacar libros. Si están interesados, háganlo saber para que se pueda hacer durante el verano. ¿Ok?
Ok.
And we also offer what we call a kindergarten boot camp, which is really 2 days, week before kids come back, that we invite our kindergartners to come. It's August 9th and 10th from 9 to 11 in the morning. And we invite our kindergartners to come to spend some time with their teachers, to see the classrooms, just to kind of get acclimated to school so that first day of school won't be so scary.
Ok, esta es una invitación que se les hace a los niños que van a entrar a kinder, que es un campamento el día del 9 al 11, ya están viendo la fecha, de 9 a 11, a 11. Ellos este tiempo lo pasan con los maestros para conocerlos y para empezar ellos a adaptarse a la escuela.
Ok.
Yep, and there's no charge for that. It's free, and we also will do a little parent orientation to answer questions that parents may have.
No tiene ningún costo y también tienen orientación para los papás en ese día.
Ok.
And then that's about all we have. Are there any questions or anything that you're still wondering about that we can help you with?
¿Algunas preguntas que todavía ustedes tengan en alguna duda o algo que quieran preguntar?
No, yo estoy bien.
She's fine. Julie is fine. She doesn't have any questions. What about you, Janet?
No, I'm good too.
Okay.
Mr. Rose, do you mind if I say something really quick?
Please do.
I just wanted to point out that all of the things that are on the slides that we talked about, like counting or reading to your child, please do those things in Spanish. everything that your child learns, they'll be able to transfer to English. I don't know, Miss Barbara, I have a little bit more if you want to translate that first.
Okay. Lo que está diciendo la señorita Winter es que la lista que vieron ustedes de actividades que pueden hacer con sus hijos, lo hagan en español, porque los niños, ellos después lo pasan al inglés y es más fácil para ellos entender lo que están haciendo.
Okay.
Yeah, so your child's brain is really elastic and it grows really easily. And so if you're doing those things in Spanish and they're strong, your child will be able to transfer them over to English and do them strong as well.
El cerebro de los niños es muy flexible y muy flexible para poder hacer todo esto. Entonces, en cuanto, si es muy fuerte en su idioma, para él va a ser, o para ella más fácil transferirlo al inglés.
Okay.
The stronger they are in their first language is the stronger they're going to be in English.
Entre más fuertes sean en su idioma, más fuertes van a ser también en inglés.
Okay.
Thank you, Mrs. Ella es Miss Winter, la señorita Winter, ¿ok?
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Well, I thank you very much for joining us. And Jeanette, I have not seen you yet, but I wanted to thank you for the gift that you gave me. From
Oh, you're welcome.
Yes, that was very thoughtful, very unnecessary, but I will enjoy it a lot.
We're glad that you were the director of the year. So, you know, it was with much love. My daughter was the one that was like, oh, let's go get something for him. I'm like, yeah, I saw it on Instagram. She's not like, yeah, that is so exciting. So
Yep. Well,
I have a question though.
Yeah.
Do we know what's the schedule for kindergarten? Is it gonna be the same as right now that they have?
The schedule for next year, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, next year, kindergartners will go till 3 o'clock. So they'll actually have the same day. So Idalise and what's your other child's name?
Roberto.
Roberto? Yeah, so Idalise and Roberto will have the same schedule. So kinder, and is she in 7th now?
She's gonna be an 8th grader.
Oh, she's gonna be in 8th grade. Yeah. So the two of them will have the same release time, which will make your life a whole lot easier. Our TK, our TK is gonna get out at that 1:30 each day, and then we expect, and we haven't formalized the schedule, but we expect if we're getting back to more normal circumstance, it'll be very likely that Thursday will be the 1:30 day, but that kindergarten will stay till the 3 o'clock on the other days.
Julie,
Okay.
dice, para el año que viene, el TK va a estar hasta la 1:30, pero los demás días, si le toca en kinder, va a ser hasta las 3 de la tarde.
Sí, ya mi niña ya tiene la edad, ella ya entra al kinder.
Okay.
Sí,
Entonces
y
le va a
está
tocar hasta
súper
las
bien.
3.
Está
Yeah.
súper bien porque así no nos dividimos en tener que ir por uno y después esperar a los otros.
That's going to be perfect for
Sí.
her. That way she doesn't have to wait for one and then go to the other one.
Yeah.
Do we need to do a form for the bus, or would they be, I mean, that way I don't need to pick up Roberto and I could just pick them up at their bus?
Yeah. You just contact Mrs. Anguiano, and she can get you on the bus
Okay.
list. Yeah. The only difference on the
Oh, okay.
kindergarten though is the first couple weeks of school. So up until Labor Day, the kindergartners are getting released at that 1:30 time for the
Earlier.
first 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Just to get them ready, because the concern is going
Mhm.
from nothing.
Julie, la primera
Full day.
semana, los kinder salen a la 1:30. Las
Okay.
primeras 2 semanas.
Ok.
All right. Well, we can't wait to have your
I
little
think
ones
my
here at school.
connection is not very good. I think.
Yes. So we can't wait to have them here at school. We're really looking forward to next year. And like we said to the last group, we are looking forward to next year being a whole
I
lot
think
more
my
normal.
connection is
because,
not very good. I don't hear you.
Oh. I think you're back.
Are you there? My connection is not very good. Okay, now.
Yes. We hear you and see you.
Okay,
And
are
I
we
wanted to
done?
Yes, I wanted to thank you so much, Mrs. Barba. I do not have those skills, and I really appreciate you helping us communicate tonight.
Thank you so much. Thank you to the teachers and to you, Mr. Barros.
Oh, it is my pleasure. You know, these are the things
Have
that
a
we enjoy doing.
nice,
Thank
yeah, have a
you.
nice rest of the day.
All right, you guys have a great night.
Bye,
Okay.
Julie.
You too.
All right. Thank you again,
Bye.
Bye,
Ms. Barba.
Julie.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Bye a todos. Bye. Bye, Janet. Bye,
Okay,
Miss
thank
Barba.